Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. And welcome to my 28th episode of Saturday Morning Makes for 2024. Grab yourself a cuppa. We've got a lot to cover. Hey everybody, good morning, good morning. Welcome in to Saturday Morning Makes. I actually spent a big part of Saturday crafting. So I did not film, I did not edit, I did not do any of that yesterday. So this is Sunday morning. So I am coming to you as soon as I am able, but I can honestly say that I crafted or did something creative in various ways all day, and I absolutely loved it. So just kind of a recap. I did this card for Whimsy Stamps last week, and just wanted to kind of show it on here. It is a shakety shake, lots of goodies in there. I created my own mix with items from This Calls for Confetti. So just keep in mind that you can always create your own mix, right? In fact, that was a thing for a very long time. People created their own mixes. But even if you have a mix and you only need specific pieces, you can take out what you need and then leave the rest for another time. So anyway, just keeping true to my kind of creepy, dark aesthetic. And there we have this one. It's very fun. Obviously, a dark Christmas isn't for everyone, but there we have that. And then I did these two cards comparing the cardstock, the watercolor card, in using the vintage watercolor technique. So I'm not going to go all into them because I do have a full video out there if you care to watch. But this is a less expensive store brand of paper, and this is the Arches Cold Press. And you can see the very different results. Is one better than the other? In my opinion, yes. Are they just different? Also, in my opinion, yes. So I don't know that one is bad and one is good. I don't like judgmental words like that, especially in terms of art. But anyway, you can just see that the results are very, very different. So I'm going to set these aside. And before I go too much further, I want to say that Impression Obsession just had a new release. And you may or may not know, but they stopped selling all of their red rubber stamps. Now this is a red rubber from Impression Obsession. The artist and designer is Dina Cowell. Dina is a crafty friend of mine online, and she's an amazing artist. And this was re-released in photopolymer just this week. If you love a sunflower, and if you love where all the details not there so you get to add it yourself, this is definitely for you. And I'm doing a video on it, but I'm just going to flash the cards real quick. So this I heat embossed and then watercolored with watercolor crayons. And then this is another where I use the vintage watercolor technique, but the same stamped image in two different ways of watercolor. And I love that I was able to add the detail myself where I wanted to add the detail, versus having all of the detail added by the artist. And there's pros and cons to both, right? It just depends on what you're doing and what your style is and what you hope for each individual project. But again, I will go into that more in another video. But in case you're interested in this, it was just released in photopolymer. It has sentiments with it, and I believe it has two other images, if I'm not mistaken, for that new photopolymer set. So I will link to Impression Obsession downstairs in the description box. Also, I got this sweet snowman and summer card from my sweet friend Marcy. Now Marcy is on the design team for Colorful Life Designs stencils, and Colorful Life Designs was my very first crafty love. Marcy, I can't remember if we were actually on the team together or not. Were you on the team by the time that I had to step down? I can't remember. But in any case, Marcy and I have become crafty online friends, and she just warms my heart with everything that she does. And she sent me this little guy, and look at him on his action wobbler. I mean, he is having fun in the sun, and I love it. Thank you, Marcy, for that. Also, Miss Jill, you had mentioned that you really like the Stamping Bella, especially the fall series. This is the only bundle girl that I have, but if you would like, I can definitely stamp her out for you and send her to you. You tell me what kind of paper you want it on, or I can do it on several different kinds, depending on what your thoughts are in terms of coloring her up, but let me know. I also have this one from the Curvy Girl collection. Fall is my favorite color. This one does not have a sentiment. This one does, of course. But again, if you want me to stamp it up and send it to you, I can. The other stamping bellas I have are mostly Christmas and Halloween, the Oddball series Halloween. So if you would like any of those, also let me know. I'm glad to do that. So then, before I jump into my actual makes, I wanted to let you guys know that this Calls for Confetti had a release this week as well. And oh my stars. Like, so this is a double die set. It's called What Lies Within. So this is the background, if you will, and then this is the foreground. And so if you cut this layer out in like yellow or whatever, then your moon is yellow, and this will show the inside of the lights, because this is the outside, and then the yellow would show through here, and then your moon would go here and your bats would be in front. And I'll show you a sample of that too. And then also there is the Ghostly Greetings dies, and I have had so much fun with both of these. These are the snowman. They're not snowman, the little ghosty dies. I went kind of ghosty die cut crazy, and I cut them out. Now these are layered again, so you could do the back, do this one in black so you don't have to glue the little bits on the back, and then cut this one out in white or whatever color you want them to be, and then adhere it to the top. And there's no right or wrong, right? I preferred to just go ahead and add the black to the back, which I did on most of these. That was just easier for me because I have so many black scraps. That was just my preference for this particular round. Now I have some in black, and I have some in different shades of oranges and yellows and pinks in there, because I made a garland out of this paper pad. This is Boo. It was from last year. It's one of my absolute favorite things from this Calls for Confetti. I absolutely love it. But right now it is out of stock. I believe it's being restocked. But I cut a bunch of different pennants, and I'll show a little like a B-roll here because I don't have any good photos of it. But I'll roll it here. I have it hanging on an armoire in the dining room. But there are other things as well, and I will link over to them, to their new release, just so you can see what they have. And there's a stencil set called Bougie. Oh my gosh, y'all. Yeah, you just need to go check it out. I don't have everything. But to flash the projects real quick, this is one. They're all shakers, and I used Spritz, the new Spritz, as well as mica stains and distress sprays on the backgrounds. And then I did ink blending as well. So there's that one. That one's in brown. This one is in gray. You can see that the backgrounds are a little bit different as well. This one has some green to it. And then this one is in black. So everything that I have left to share with you was the inspiration for it was a Better pressed image. So for those of you who don't know, I recently purchased a Better Press system. And Better Press is a letterpress type of deal, if you will, whatever type of deal means. So this is the base, and this piece is magnetized. Under there I have a couple of shims, and that just is to make sure that there's enough pressure to press your image into your paper. So there are 3 little shims. You use as many as you need. I'm finding that with my Big Shot, I do need all 3. So there's the third one. It's adhered. It's only adhered with static. So you would put your image here. These are my press plates. So you would put your image here wherever you want it to be, right? And then you can see that it already has the markings for you for an A2 and an A7. And then I use this tape. It came with the system. I think it's called like the best tape ever or something like that. Oh, I have all kinds of fibers stuck to it, but this came with the system. And I just have it rolled up there, and it also comes with a sample of the cardstock, because they do use their own cardstock and they use their own formulation of ink, but it all comes with the system. But then I just adhere my paper here, and then I put it on, You want to be careful that you don't allow your plate, or this part is the platen, I believe, and this part is the chase. So you don't want to allow your paper that's on your platen to touch your plate, the actual image on the chase, until you put it through your die cut system. For me, I have a big shot, so I just put it through, roll it through, and in that process, this gets pressed down and the paper gets pressed onto the plate, and then the process of rolling it through your die cut system is what impresses the image, and it actually makes an impression and show. So I will show you. I don't know if you can see, but this is this particular image, and it's actually textured because the plate is metal and it actually pushes into the paper. The paper is a porous cotton fiber paper, and so it's very accepting of that pressure. And I used VersaFine Clair inks to ink this up. 2 shades of blue and then a purple. And so let me move this out of the way. I'll clean it up later. But there are also these little images that I got as well. And so all of my projects entail these today, or the rest of my projects. Oh, because I just played and ran it through and ran it through. And so again, we'll finish this one up. I left it plain and simple, clean and simple, maybe is a better way to put it. The cardstock or the pattern paper on the back is from Impression Obsession. It's Anna White. Then I added a couple little charms I thought were really cute, and the little twine, and I called it done. Now I added this brown layer because the twine that I wanted to use to match the blue had the brown to it, so I added that brown so it would make sense, but I think it's really cute. And then this one, all the rest of them, the backgrounds and most of the elements were just in my stash. So this is from this set, and I'll show you. I'm not going to show you all of them because I'll just kind of go slow this time. So there's the pumpkin, there's the tombstone bats, the ghost, that's this ghost. Then there's a ghosty in a frame, ghosty friends, a ghosty holding a cat. No, that's this one. I'm sorry. That's this one. And then the witch's hat, the snake, and the skull. And then several sentiments. And this is an actual die that will cut out all of those sentiments. And so that's one of the sentiments there. This background was created from a stamp by Technique Junkies, and I have had it in my stash for many, many years. Technique Junkies was one of the first companies that I designed for, Technique Junkies and A Colorful Life Designs. And this is from them. It was painted up with, I believe it was with my Lindy's. And then I just ruffled through my stash yesterday, and I pulled out a bunch of different backgrounds and decided just to pair things up, and then I went to town. So again, this is the image with the little kitty cat. You can see that I used some gold watercolors to paint it up, just so that it would coordinate better with that background. I thought they just worked so well together. And then this is one of the sentiments from the set as well. Now this Harlequin is from my sweet friend Miss Joan Orloff. She sent me this in a swap not long ago, and I went to town die cutting Harlequins. I'm not going to pull them all out, but they are all Halloween colors. There's browns and greens and blacks and oranges and purples, and some of them are cardstock, some of them are metallic, some of them are pattern paper, some of them are sprayed with spritz, some of them are ink blended, some of them are wood grain. I mean, you name it. So, and I just thought that was really cute. It pulled that gold into another place. And then along the edges of these two bits, I just used my paintbrush full of some of the paint. I actually used this darker color, and then I just kind of went along the edges like this. Oh, look, I put it away with paint still on it. Let me take care of that. But I thought that was really cute, really fun one. Now, this one, this is an embossing folder from Tim Holtz, and I made it probably 2 years ago when the folder first came out. I don't often buy things from Tim Holtz brand new, but this one I did, and I love the folder, but I was not loving how this background turned out. And it has sat in my stash ever since because I was like, I'm going to make that work. Well, when I flipped through yesterday, I just saw it, and it just clicked in my brain, and I liked the way it worked with this particular pumpkin. I have another one that's kind of waiting in the wings, but then I have this copper cardstock from Michaels, and I just used a stitch circle die to cut it out and layered up a couple more of those Harlequins. Now this one was sprayed with spritz, and you can see that it kind of fades and then it comes back. I wish you could see the whole thing because it almost looks like a candy corn. It's really cool. I think I have another one in there that's candy corn-ish, cut from that same, yeah, it's cut from that same piece of cardstock. And there's more in there. I'm not going to pull them out. But anyway, that kind of gives you a better idea of what that looked like. See how it's a little bit lighter here in the middle? Yeah. Anyway, very fun, very cute. Lifted up on some double-sided foam. Same with these. And then this one started out as a much larger panel. This is an image from Whimsy Stamps. Again, I used my Lindy's and I did shades of purples and blues. And when you use Lindy's, they kind of break down and give you other colors. And so that's why I've got some gold and some pink. There's some teals in there as well. But the skull, I thought, matched really well. Coordinated really well might be the better word. And these are die cut from this set of label dies from Whimsy Stamps. It's a labels, frame label die set. Read the words that are there, Nance. Read the words that are there. And then I just used my OLOs with some of those similar shades and the cool grays and just kind of colored it up. It's not colored the best. I could go back in and fix it. I don't know if I will at this point or not. But this background was just in my stash. I just pulled it out. This one was in my stash as well, and I thought, oh, those go well together. And then I had a bunch of different shades of purple cut out of these, and so I just found one that I felt was enough of a contrast to allow the the die cut to stand out from the rest of it. So there's that one. And then these two are 5x7. So let me spread those out a little bit more so you can see them. So this one, look at that. I think it's absolutely stunning. So this has a lot of different elements, right? This background was created and sent to me by my sweet friend Lisa Wolf. She used an Harlequin stencil on the background, and this one actually started the whole thing because I knew that I wanted the Harlequin to stand out more, so that's why I pulled out the Harlequin die from Miss Joan, and I just went to town cutting and cutting and cutting, and I just pulled a bunch of different papers out that were kind of scraps. I have this little container. I have a couple containers like this, and they're just pieces that weren't enough to finish a project, but things that I also knew that I didn't want to throw away. And so I pulled out a bunch of different things from here, and that's where my process started for everything. And so I have the 2 layers of the Harlequin die. And then I have these little baddies and this wreath. These are from this Spellbinders set that I got last week. So you can see it has the branches in there. Well, those are actual branches. Has the branches. And of course it has the pine bough and everything as well, and the florals and the bow, but I didn't use those. I just used the branches. And then over here I just used the bats. And this little hanging bat I think is really cute. He's hanging right there. I used a little bit of Wink Estella on the bats. I don't know if the camera's catching that or not. It's very subtle. Then again used my OLOs to color them up. Again, very subtle, very sweet. Popped it up on some double-sided foam tape. You're wicked cute, and called it done. And I absolutely love that card. This one, same thing. Better press image. All of them are better press images, as are the sentiments. Yep, all of them are. Now this image is the zombie background from Whimsy. I don't know to be fair if either of these are still available. They were just in my stash, right? So here I have another of the Harlequin die cuts cut out of the shiny green. And then I have a couple different types of pattern paper. I think one is from Whimsy, one is from Honeybee. And then some black cardstock, a black circle, some more of those branchy dies, and some more of the bats. And then I added this lace. I thought the lace just topped the whole thing off. And it's such a grand card, and it's so large, and it just Just has such a presence. Both of these do. This one more so, but definitely they both have a lot of presence. I'm in love with these. I have to say I wasn't sold on the better press in the beginning. I really wasn't. I just thought, yeah, I don't need that. But I'm loving them. Okay, so my camera died. So just real quick, I just want to tell you guys, if you are not familiar with Saturday Morning Makes, because I forgot to say that when I started, it is a weekly open art collaborative that was created by our amazing leader and sweet friend, Jill Norwood. She is a beautiful crafter and created this for all of us to participate in. You do not have to be a paper crafter, but we would love for you to participate with us either by hopping around and seeing everything that we've made, and you just enter the hashtag or use the words Saturday Morning Makes and search. And you can look on any platform, social media platform that you like, and just see what's out there. And if you want to participate as well, use the same hashtag SatMornMakes and upload your projects to whatever social media platform you're most familiar with or comfortable with, and then let us know that it's out there and we can go look for it. So that is what this is. Now, you do not have to post on Saturday morning. That is when we started, but that is not how we've ended up. And that's okay, right? Life changes. It brings us different things into different places. And okay, so my camera keeps dying, but these are the things that I created from my Better Press letterpress and myriad of different things that are from my stash. There is a video that goes to these two cards. It is showing how I did the vintage watercolor technique using different watercolor card. This I made for Whimsy Stamps earlier this week. These were made for kind of in support of or recognition of my sweet friend Dina Cowell and the amazing artist that she is, and different ways you can use her sunflower stamp, which was originally on red rubber, and now Impression Obsession has re-released it with other stamps in a whole set, and it's now in photopolymer. So this video isn't out yet, but the product is out there. So if you want to jump over to Impression Obsession, I'll link to them downstairs. This is some happy mail that I received from my sweet friend, Miss Marcy. Love it, love it. Don't forget that this calls for Confetti had a new release. These are just things that I have in my stash, but there's plenty more. And these are the cards that I made with that release. And there'll be shares of those coming soon. This calls for Confetti has a hop coming up this week, so you want to watch for that. And Miss Jill, just a reminder, if you are interested in me stamping these out on different types of cardstock, let me know. I can do that. In fact, that goes for anybody. If you would like anything that I have stamped out, I'm open to doing that. I think we make the community that much better. But now I'm going to sign out because I don't want my camera to die. But guys, I love you. I thank you for spending time with me each and every time you come. You don't have to click on my video, but you do, and I appreciate you. So until next time, I will be back with Halloween hauls. Y'all, I lost my mind with Halloween shopping. I lost my mind. There's a lot to see. And I have plenty more makes coming up. I have lots of stuff going on. So I will see you very soon in the next one. And until then, mwah. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Saturday Morning Makes, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.